Saya means shadow and chaya means shade. Well, you must be wondering what is it that I'm talking about. Saya essentially means shadow, which means किसी के पीछे पीछे चलना. So, if at the cost of sounding slightly cringe, but welcome to the shade of English Excellence with Chaya, and we will teach you the technique of following our Saya, which means the shadow technique or the shadowing technique, which will help you learn English very, very effective. Shadowing technique. The shadowing technique is probably one of the most recommended techniques when it comes to communicating effectively. Basically, it's the technique of following someone so that you can speak more effectively and accurately. So, let's try and narrate a story. And this story we will learn through the shadowing technique where you will say one line at a time with me. I'll say both the Hindi and the English version that I want you to use so that you understand the correct expressions, correct vocabulary to articulate your thoughts. This actually is a real life incident involving celebrated actor Saif Ali Khan. Recently, he and his family went through a turmoil. Let's see line by line how we can narrate this incident. The first line would be सैफ अली खान एक बहुत ही अच्छे लोकेलिटी में रहते हैं मुंबई बांद्रा में. So if I want to say this line in English, I would say Saif Ali Khan lives in an upmarket, upscale locality in Bandra, Mumbai. Before we proceed further, I would also like to say that watch out for the vocabulary list which I am going to tell you at the end of this entire narration. Now let's go further into the narration. Saif Ali Khan lives in an upmarket locality in Bandra, Mumbai. Next sentence. रात के अंधेरे में कुछ चोर या एक चोर उनके घर में घुस आया. The line is, at the dead of the night, an intruder came into or broke into Saif Ali Khan's apartment. Try this sentence. Great, you got this right. That's the shadowing technique. Follow one sentence at a time. Next up, सैफ अली खान को कुछ शोर सुनाई दिया और वो दौड़ते हुए कमरे की तरफ गए. Well, Saif Ali Khan heard a commotion and rushed to the scene. You can also say Saif Ali Khan heard a commotion and he darted to the scene. Try this sentence. Great. If you're getting stuck in between, just go back, replay it, and say it again exactly like it's being said. Fantastic. I think you got that right. Let's proceed further. सैफ और उस अनजान व्यक्ति के बीच झड़प हुई. Basically, both Saif and the intruder got into a scuffle. Say it again. Saif and the intruder got into a scuffle. Perfect. I think you practiced that well. You could practice that again, but later. Let's move on ahead for now. सैफ को अनजान व्यक्ति ने 6 बार चाकू से मारा या उन पर 6 बार चाकू से वार हुआ. Saif was stabbed 6 times by the intruder. Saif was stabbed 6 times by the intruder. Perfect. Great. I'm glad you're practicing. Next up, सैफ को हॉस्पिटल में ओटी में ले जाया गया, ऑपरेशन थिएटर में ले जाया गया. Saif was wheeled into the operation theatre. Saif was wheeled into the operation theatre. Try this. Great. Next line for the shadowing technique. सैफ का पूरा परिवार काफी परेशान था और वेट कर रहा था ऑपरेशन खत्म होने के लिए. As the entire family waited for the operation to come to an end, or for the surgery to come to an end, the family was on their tenterhooks. As the entire family waited for the surgery to come to an end, the family was on their tenterhooks. एक और लाइन प्रैक्टिस कर सकते हैं. सैफ अली खान की सर्जरी हुई. सैफ अली खान underwent a surgery. Try this again. Saif Ali Khan underwent a surgery. Great. Now that you've practiced all the sentences so far, let's conclude this story or this narration with the last line. The last line is, thankfully, अंत में सब कुछ अच्छे से ठीक हुआ. You can say, all's well that ends well. Saif recovered well, so all's well that ends well. Let's say it again. Saif recovered well, so all's well that ends well. In my next segment, wait for the vocabulary list of all that we spoke so far. And yes, repeat the exercise of the shadowing technique. I would recommend pause at each sentence, say it again, and then listen to the final segment of this video. I'm so glad that you practiced each sentence again. Let's now dive into the words which you practice through the shadowing technique, because I really want that you understand what you're saying so that its application can then become easy for you and then you can start using it in your daily life. Let's take one of the words from the first sentence. Upscale or upmarket locality. Upscale or upmarket, as the word indicates, it's a word for posh. Something जो अच्छे को represent करता है या prime property represent करता है. तो posh locality के बदले we use the word upscale or upmarket locality. One of the second words was intruder. Intruder is a general word. अगर हम चोर कहें तो robber, thief, ये words हम जानते हैं. Intruder and even better, perpetrator. These are some of the words जो आप use कर सकते हो जब कोई घर में घुस आता है, basically जिसको वहाँ होने का हक नहीं है, but वो आ रहा है, घुस रहा है. So that is intruder or perpetrator. Okay? Criminal, more like a criminal. Then one of the words was रात के अंधेरे में. रात के अंधेरे में means at the dead of the night. Okay, at the dead of the night. So basically, when it is dark, okay, almost the entire city has gone to sleep. At that point, रात के अंधेरे में, at the dead of the night. Then there was a word that commotion. Saif Ali Khan heard a commotion. Commotion is a very good noise for unpleasant sounds or unexpected sounds or chaos. Okay, noise is not the right word for आवाज सुनाई दी, हलचल सुनाई दी. हलचल आवाज इसके लिए commotion is the perfect word. Okay, when you're sitting in your office room and maybe some employees or colleagues are fighting outside, that also can be used as commotion. Okay, commotion. Next is Saif Ali Khan darted to the scene, rushed to the scene, even bolted to the scene. मतलब तेजी से उस तरफ गए. तो he did not go to the scene or run to the scene. Basically he darted, rushed or bolted. These are the words which means तेजी से कहीं जाना. Okay, darted, bolted, rushed. Next, we used a word or we learnt a word in our shadowing technique, which was he was attacked. Okay, basically, intruder ने उन पे वार किया. Okay, अनजान व्यक्ति ने उन पर वार किया, उन पे चाकू से हमला किया. तो attacked is definitely the word, but when चाकू से हमला होता है तो stabbed is the perfect word. Okay, he was stabbed 6 times. Then next up, उनको सर्जरी में ले जाया गया. Okay, so he was taken into surgery. no problem. But he was wheeled into surgery, which was what I used. He was wheeled into surgery. Literally जो stretcher में ले जाया जाता है किसी को surgery में, okay? जब हम wheels पर लेकर जाते हैं, that is known as being wheeled into surgery. Okay? I even said underwent surgery. Underwent is a good word whenever you're saying treatment, surgery. Okay, it's a good word to use in that context. Okay, and finally, I said that the family was worried. Okay, so I use the word on their tenter hooks. जब कोई anxious होता है, परेशान होता है, worried होता है, that's the perfect place to use. He or she or they were on their tenter hooks. Okay, and we culminated the entire narration by using a very effective and happy phrase, because Saif recovered. All's well that ends well, basically. All's well that ends well basically means ant acha to sab bhala, basically. Okay, all's well that ends well. You can use this in any scenario where the end was good. Okay, it could be an exciting match where India won, or in any other scenario where something good happened towards the end. Okay, so this was the exciting vocabulary that we picked up purely through our shadowing technique. I welcome you to watch this video again, practice each line again, and definitely this last segment where I explain the words, rewatch it, absorb it, and go ahead, apply it in the real world context. Happy learning at English Excellence with Chaya.